can move this way.
That's just you.
Too close to the beach. We'll do that. Gotta be 5:59, Jerry. All right, it is 6 o'clock. I will call the Monday, July 28th, 2025 board meeting to order. First, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Consent agenda, 2 items, approval of minutes of the June 23rd, 2025 board meeting, as well as the statement of receipts and expenditures for June of 2025. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
First and second, any additional discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, and that passes. Superintendent's report.
Yes, we have some back-to-school dates that we'll cover, but as we start this week, this is our final week of summer school, and it's been great to see a number of our students at the high school this year, so appreciate the staff's flexibility as they've adjusted, and custodians' flexibility of moving stuff up to the high school from our elementary schools. Damon James, this is his first year of running summer school on his own, and has done a really good job in a learning curve. He's done a really nice job of organizing, and just appreciate all the work that our teachers and visiting teachers have done for our students during summer school. And it's been nice in the morning, so the heat wave this afternoon didn't affect our summer school classes, which was also a positive thing. But as we look back to our back to school dates, we have online district registration opening on August 4th, which sort of kicks off us thinking about the 25-26 school year and families being able to get their classroom teachers, students being able to see their class schedules once they register, so that's an important date for families. And then we have in-person registration and school photos on the 18th and 19th. New teachers start on the 20th and 21st, and then we welcome all staff back on the 25th through the 29th. So the 25th will be our welcome back with all staff, and then we have PD throughout that week. Elementary Great Start conferences are August 28th and 29th. We are continuing the tradition of having 5th grade continue to have Great Start conferences, so it will be our kindergarten through 5th grade students having Great Start conferences. John Long Sneak Peek and Parent Boot Camp is on the 27th, and then our first day of school will follow the typical schedule we've had in the past of 6th grade only at John Long on Tuesday, 9th through 12th, with 9th grade in the morning, and then 10th and 11th, 12th graders joining them in the afternoon. And then on Wednesday the 3rd, we'll start all of our other grades, EC, 4K, through our 5th graders and our 7th and 8th graders coming in that day on September 3rd. So exciting to think through as we look at next time we meet together. We'll have already done our orientation and district registration and have had our welcome back for the 25-26 school year for our next board meeting. Second SRO update, I wanted to update the board. Following our last meeting on June 26th, I received an email from Jesse Ties, Grafton Village Administrator, informing me that due to his upcoming departure from the village, that any discussions or decisions regarding the addition of a second SRO will be postponed until a new permanent administrator is in place. Since then, Dan Delort, village president, has emailed me that Jessica Wolf has been appointed as acting village administrator. That starts August 6th. And additionally, the village board has identified 2 finalist firms for their administrator recruitment process, and they're making that decision on which firm is selected at their next village board meeting on August 4th. So knowing that they're not making a selection of a hiring firm until the 4th and then doing an interview process and a hiring process, we're going to be well into our year. And so with that being the timeline, we will not have sufficient time to responsibly budget for an additional SRO for the 25-26 school year. So therefore, we'll proceed with having just one SRO for the 25-26 school year. Want to take a moment to recognize Jesse. It was starting my 10th year now as superintendent, and 9 years ago, him and I were hired at the same time I still remember they did a meet and greet at Fire Ridge together, and met people together, and he's been a supporter and collaborator with the district, not only as a village administrator, but also as a parent, a volunteer, Little League, whatever it may be that he's been involved in, that he's helped us with, and so we wish Jesse the best as he takes on his next professional challenge. But that updates you on where we are with the second SRO. And then summer construction update. We have, not only do we have work occurring at John Long Middle School, which we'll hear about soon, but also over at Woodview in the cafeteria. We are replacing the beautiful off-white walls that had holes in them from the climbing wall with something that says Home of the Wildcats and some color that goes with that. And then as you go around, we've kept the wall that has that beautiful mural on it, and students can sit there, and you'll see the blue there, and then you can see as you go around some of the other colors that will be going in. In 2 weeks, we'll have the floor, approximately 2 weeks, we'll have the floor going in into that area. There's some color that's ingrained in that floor as well, but excited to see. You'll see on that bottom right-hand corner, on the left of the picture, is a little bit of a, keep going left, my left. You're right, there you go. At the bottom, you can't. So like there's a little bit of a butt out, that's where, yeah, right there, that's where those old tables would come out of the wall that were unsafe, so we had them chained off. So now that's been walled in, so you don't see it. So it's just gonna really great opportunity for our students over at Woodview as they walk into their cafeteria. So great space to be updated over there. Excited.
And great timing too, because we don't have summer school here this year. So.
Don't have summer school, so great opportunity to not have to utilize that space. I know Jill's looking forward to seeing that, as well as her library furniture that's coming in as well. So when we go over there next, it'll be great to see that. And then at the high school, we have the soccer restrooms and concession stand. The work has begun. Foundation's in. Jamie said they're starting rough-in plumbing this week, and anticipated the end of September, but by next month we'll have a firm timeline for this project as well. Dufek Construction is the company that's doing it, and they're setting the timeline, Jane, but they've been doing the rough-in plumbing this week, and we look forward to that coming to close, and hopefully during the soccer season, so families will be able to use that and get rid of the porta-johns that are there now. And then we have our John Long edition, and we have Ryan here from C.G. Schmidt, and Tyler, not Ryan. Thank you. And Huffman Keel, she can't, that going through my head. Huffman Keel cannot be here tonight, so Topher is going to do the Huffman Keel part of it. But I will turn it over to Tyler to talk about it from C.G. Schmidt.
Sounds great. Well, since this is going to be the last time I'm in front of everybody, just want to say thank you from the Grafton community to the school board to the school district as well. We've had a couple of roadblocks through our construction process, and it's been nothing but a pleasure to work through them, because no construction project is going to be perfect. So when you have a good team, which we have here, it's been absolutely amazing. So again, just want to say thank you to everyone for that. So kind of our updates. So our building addition is complete. So we're just doing minor paint touch-ups right now. What's really cool is the teacher contents have now been moved into the space. So on my end, seeing it go from a construction project, getting into now the teachers coming in, it's very cool. Very cool. So the bathrooms are all done, fixtures are all in now compared to the last time you all walked through. As well as the exterior finishes are going on. So the last little bit that we have to do is just a little bit of metal that goes between the window mullions. But landscaping is ongoing, all the plantings are just about all in. And then getting into our remodel. So the cafeteria is about 90% complete. The only thing we have left is to drop ceiling tiles and those clouds. The kitchen equipment is all there, it just needs to be put in place. And then our flooring, that's the last thing that we'll need to do, kind of just finishes wise in that space. The main office remodel, everything is done in there except for, again, the finishes. The front office desk is the last little piece of millwork that'll need to go in there. It's kind of a complicated solid surface. There's a couple of angular designs that go in there, so they just need to fit that up, and then that should be coming in the next week. Teacher's lounge, last thing that we need to do in there is just do our finished flooring and a little bit of paint touch-up, drop the ceiling tile, be all ready. And then the remodel of the science rooms, we were able to add a new science room just across from the front office. We were setting epoxy tops today. Those should be complete by Wednesday. And then kind of the same thing for the remodel of the existing science room. We were setting the epoxy tops today, and that should be done by Wednesday. The Library Media Center, we got our bifolding glass door in. This picture on the right is actually, it was taken this morning, and since then we already threw the flooring in there, so that's actually an out-of-date picture already. All the glass and glazing is in. When we started the demo of this area, behind the existing bookshelves was actually a 16-inch gap, so we were able to take all of the bookshelves out and order new ones within the same construction budget. But now we also gained 16 inches over about 80 feet of space within that library, so a fun little remodel find. As site work goes, all of the paving and concrete, except for the front walk, is all done. They striped out last week, and we should be setting light poles in the next week or two. So again, you see landscaping is ongoing. They should be done within another week or two. Some upcoming milestones. So our playground is going to start August 4th, and they've told me that they're going to be done by August 8th, so that starts next Monday, should be done by next Friday. Landscaping is shooting to be done by about August 11th, and then August 18th is our contractual substantial completion day. So we're all on track for that, and then our ribbon cutting. So I think we'd like to invite everybody out to the ribbon cutting, which is going to be at 5:45, August 27th. If everybody can make that, that'd be great. Kind of showcase the process of the last year. The move-in activities, so we were able to get all of the furniture installed into the addition July 14th through the 21st. July 23rd, we were able to have teachers bring their stuff in and kind of scatter out and get all their stuff where they need it. And then August 5th through the 15th is kind of what we have penciled in for all the furniture for the remodel spaces to get brought in and set in place. And then August 20th is the new teacher move-in, and August 25th will be the whole building staff. Construction risk funds. So we are to date 85% build out with about 30% of our remaining risk funds. So as it goes from my end, looking at 30% risk funds from the start of the project, it's extremely comfortable. We have a little over 2 weeks left of the project, and looking at having 30% is quite amazing compared to some projects that I've heard about. So feeling really comfortable as we're getting into these last couple weeks. And as you see for our schedule, so everything with the addition is done. We're just like I said, a couple minor things left. The furniture equipment is starting to install over on the remodel here in the next couple weeks. Our remodel is ongoing, so we're pushing ahead on that. And then move-in and close out. So we're planning by the start of school, with those last 2 weeks from substantial completion to the end, that all of those minor paint touch-ups and anything else is all done, and we can hand you over your brand new space.
Thank you, Tyler. Not often you hear someone say, fun little remodel plan. Usually those findings aren't fun. So finally, just take a look at the budget. As we see every month, we continue to move forward with pieces being invoiced. I know Tyler mentioned 85%, and this is showing less, but obviously there's some delay with some of that getting to us. This is a heavy period of having those invoices coming in. And again, the budget has tracked really well, and you'll see in that other expenses category, that has a lot of owner direct pieces, things we've been able to do that won't be managed by C.G. Schmidt, they'll be managed by Jamie, and that's what you see in that category as well. So are there any questions for either Tyler or I for this construction update?
Comments or questions? I mean, it was great to be there today and see the space, and I think we greatly appreciate the partnership of C.G. Schmidt. I mean, it's gone extremely well from our side as well, so, we appreciate that, but we're excited as well for start of the school year.
Yeah, I would echo that. Tyler and his team have done a really great job of working with us on a weekly basis and needed on an hourly basis on different decisions that need to be made, and thinking long-term and budget savings that we can do. And we just really appreciate that partnership with them, and it's been a really great opportunity to work with them, and just happy to be able to have a ribbon cutting on the 27th. We are going to have it at 5:45 p.m. We'll get an update out to the board, and we'll share with our community. That's going to be followed by that sneak peek and the parent boot camp at John Long. So it'll be an opportunity for us to do a ribbon cutting. People that will already be coming for that sneak peek will be able to be there on that same evening, and hopefully be able to take part in the sneak peek and see the new spaces, and opportunity then to have their sneak peek and parent boot camp. So that will be at 5:45 on the 27th. So thanks for everyone for doing the doodle poll for us to get that date, to get people there. And we look forward to celebrating together the opening of the new addition as well as the remodel piece. And with that, that concludes my update.
Great. Any additional questions for Jeff? All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. All right, so that brings us to public comment. Would anybody like to address the board? All right, seeing none, we will go to C, personnel report.
Yes, personnel report. I have one that we would ask for board approval for a new teacher, Shelby Kimbrough, special education teacher at Kennedy Elementary School. And informational only, we have new hires of Annie Kimbrough, special ed aide at Woodview Elementary School, Russ Cross, student supervisor at Grafton High School, Kaylee Kazda, administrative assistant, John Long Middle School, Mikhail Owens, special education aide, John Long Middle School, Cameron Wechter, special ed aide at Grafton High School, and a resignation of Karen Schneiberg, EL aide at Kennedy Elementary School. But we would look for approval for Shelby.
All right, any questions on the personnel report?
Jeff, what's a student supervisor? I feel like I've seen it.
Student supervisor position will be working within our library and media center and also within our lunchroom space to supervise students during study hall periods, to ensure that the spaces are taken care of and students get the support they need during that time.
How many student supervisors do we have at the high school?
We will have essentially 2 library and media center aides that work different hours. We have 1 that is in our cafeteria commons area for all of our study halls throughout the day, which is a 7.
Good, thank you. Thanks, Mr. Mantha.
All right, no other questions? I will look for an approval for Shelby Kimbrough, special education teacher at Kennedy Elementary School.
So moved.
Second.
First, second, additional discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. We welcome Shelby as well as the other new hires under the informational. Where does that put us then for the hiring in open positions?
For teachers, right now, that has us fully staffed, as you have 1. So we have, yep, so, and then we have, I think, support staff, you have 0, you have 1, you have 0, 0, 0, and Scott has 1. So we have 1 support staff member that we're still looking for, that goes with it.
Good news. Okay. All right, so let's go to item number D, notice of student academic standards.
Hello, this is our annual notice of academic standards that we use to guide our resource selection and also our curriculum decisions. The standards we are seeking approval are listed there. It's the Wisconsin Academic Standards for ELA and Math, the Disciplinary Literacy Standards, the Next Generation Science Standards, the ACT College and Career Readiness Standards, the National Standards for Health and Art, the WEMA Wisconsin Music Standards, and the National Sexuality Education Standards for our human growth and development instruction. These are the same standards that were approved last year. There were no updates.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions on the same standards from last year? Great, seeing none, I will look for a motion to approve the student academic standards for the 25-26 school year.
So moved. Second.
First and second, additional discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that passes. Thank you. Fund 46.
Yes, so each year, the district has until July 31st to book a transfer from Fund 10 into Fund 46 and have that count as a prior fiscal year cost. Last year, 2023-24, we did not make that transfer delayed it until this year to double up both last year's and this year's budgeted transfer in order to increase our shared cost, to increase state aid, and minimize property taxes. So we are taking what we set aside and reserved for a transfer this year, as well as the budgeted amount to transfer to Fund 46. That's what's on the table tonight. In addition to, at the high school, and various departments will have funds that are still available in their budget that, because of that tight deadline, they can't necessarily order it and get it in by June 30th. So we move it into 46 to cover that cost for when the material comes in. So at the high school, they have set aside $19,000 for tech ed equipment and flexible furniture, $4,000 classroom furniture at the middle school, and then in the teaching and learning department, $12,000 set aside for curriculum materials, which would bring the total transfer from Fund 10 to Fund 46 to $973,100. That's what's on the table. I'm looking to get that approved tonight to execute in the coming days to meet the deadline.
Okay. Questions for Topher? Okay, seeing none, I look for approval of the 24-25 transfer of $973,100 to Fund 46.
So moved.
Second.
First and second, additional discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, and that passes. Thank you, Topher. And then gift reports.
Yes, we have 4 gift donations that we would ask for board approval for. It's towards our Phase 3 athletic complex development. Gretchen Seymour in the amount of $530. Jeffrey and Isabel Dotson in the amount of $500. Pam and Steve Kittleson in the amount of $500. And Eric Olson as a Blackhawk donation level of $1,000. And we would ask for board approval for those.
Questions, comments? I'd look for a motion to approve the gift report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
First, second, additional discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, that passes. And we thank everyone for their generosity, and we'll get a letter of recognition out to them. Next board meeting will be Monday, August 25th, here at the high school. And that is also the first day of staff here, correct?
That's our staff welcome back. Yes, sir.
That brings us to adjournment. The Board of Education will consider a motion to convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, Section 1, subsection C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility for purpose of considering 1, administration's recommendation of termination of a professional educator contract, and 2, performance-related data and compensation of the superintendent. Do we have a motion to go into closed?
So moved.
Second.
We'll take a voice vote.
Yes.
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 And yes, we are enclosed. Thank you, everyone.
That's quick.
What's that? I used a couple bucks after.